People of the world, we're going to be looking at the new patch notes that do be coming. So let me load this bad boy up, alright? Because I think this is going to be very interesting. Okay. Age of Empires Season 2 update. It's got a cool octopus here. Fan of Lenok, obviously. Alright. Welcome to an exciting Season 2 start. First and foremost, super happy that there's a new patch coming. Super happy. That isn't because I dislike the current one. I just think it's really fun keeping things fresh. And I love that. I love that. Look at my scroll. Where's my scroll bar? What do you mean? Oh. It's a long scroll bar. Right. So I guess given that it's very long, we'll go through things quickly. So, a few highlights. Map preference systems, that's a veto system. Great news. You know, there's certain maps that people just don't like playing, so this will hopefully avoid some of the dodging. Player color picker. Welcome to 2022. Remappable hotkeys, fully unlocked campaigns, Age of Discovery event. Don't know what this means, but fully unlocked campaigns, I mean, I don't really play campaigns, so kind of cool. So we can download this stuff already. That's kind of nice for those people with, you know, 56k modems. Alright. New portraits, new coat of arms. Now, guys and girls, you know I'm all about having a sexy banner, so I'm happy with these, although we'll see. I want some portrait that's, like, ridiculously hard to get, you know? Like, if you reach rank 1 at any point, you unlock this cool portrait, you know? I think that'd be fun. Or, if you hold on to it, you have the portrait. I think that could be sick. And it's like I don't know. Right. Login rewards? Oh, cool. Cool. Okay, map preference system. Yeah, the vetoes. I think this is awesome. So you can say what you don't want to play and what have you. Fantastic. That's great. So this is for quick match and ranked. I think that's really cool. What do they veto? Black Forest, Confluence, French Pass, Manor Pass, Mongol. Some solid vetoes there. Solid. Remappable hotkeys. Holy fuck. They're proper zooming. Wow, this was some editing right here. No wonder they've been quiet, you know? They've been making super... This is everything my ADHD needs. Okay. Worn conflicts toggle. New camera zoom options. Oh yeah, I wonder. Classic view and then panoramic view. So what's this specifically for? We're playing Age of... We've added a new camera zoom level and rotation to provide greater vantage point on the battlefield and a more holistic view of the base. We're making these changes, we experiment with many different settings. While not offering much benefit, we have found these new values enhance gameplay feel, battlefield and base management. This new camera mode, dubbed panoramic, is now a UI option you'll have access to. If selected while in a match, you'll need to exit back to the menu for the setting to take effect. It looks a little more zoomed out. Yeah, so this is classic, and that's panoramic. So apparently it's the same, right? Like the same little... So you can just see more? Is that what I'm seeing? Like it's a bit... This feels like you're looking kind of at it. This feels a bit more on top. Like a bit more bird's eye, right? Yeah. But you can see more. That's already a massive deal for me. Yeah, you can see the lumber camp at the bottom here in the panoramic. And look at these trebs. Like, these two trebs are on the edge of the screen here. They're absolutely not here. Let's see on the top. So the top is about the same. The bottom is not, and the sides are not. So it's bigger. So it's definitely a little bit zoomed out. Hitboxes were weird on that. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, if you ask me which is better for you as a player, maybe this is better. Very, yes. Ah, look at this. Terrible Arkham placement. Two houses. Not what you want. Not what you want. Actually, yeah, the classic view here. Look, you see those guys on berries. Maybe it... Oh, dude. Maybe it's a bit misplaced. Or maybe it isn't the same picture. Although it looks like it's very close. Alright, alright. New map. The pit. Okay, that's cool. Player color picker. And that's how it looks when you're in a lobby and stuff. Okay, game. Event queue and notifications. Reduce number of map pings when multiple attacks occur next to each other. That's good. Increase notification re-trigger time when buildings are attacked from 0 to 15 seconds. Oh, that's good. You know, sometimes when, let's say you're getting towered, right? And then you get villagers attacked somewhere else. Because the building keeps on getting triggered, you don't have the other thing. Remove map ping on upgrade complete. Ally under attack ping change from red to blue. Ally under attack ping triggers less frequently when multiple... Okay. Okay, this is like UI stuff. It just fixes by the looks of it. Definitely worth looking through at some point, but I mean, there's just so much to go through. But this is mainly, yeah. Shortcuts and remappable keys. Lots of fixes. It looks primarily like a lot of the landmark stuff is now in line with what it's meant to be in line with, which is good. Using select barracks hotkey will no longer... It used to select docks? Okay, that's kind of funny. I didn't know that. Alright, gameplay. Here we go. Okay. Fix an issue where giving sheep the move command while near your scout could result in the sheep converting to a neutral. Oh, if only they brought this in a while ago. Beastie would have won Golden League, alright, boys and girls? Fucking sheep bug. Alright. Fixed a bug that allowed you... I like the fact that they called it an issue, not a bug as well. Oh, that's great. Fixed a bug that allowed you to withdraw and deposit relics from religious buildings in rapid succession and earn extra gold in the process. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Imams from responding to conversion commands while healing. Units will now respect formation changes after finding a target attack from idle. Units will now... It is no longer possible to animation cancel with units. Fix a rare exploit where units on walls could gain a permanent range increase. Oh my god, I wish I knew about this. Fixed a bug when the game hangs after quitting when your town centre has been destroyed. Villagers will repair buildings over naval units when damaged. Units are overlapped. Could increase score by unpacking and packing buildings. Oh! So they've fixed the score issue. That's kind of cool. Fix a bug where siege units sometimes target the back of a gate instead of the front. Not have enough room for... Oh, that's a nice change. Oh. Fix an issue where gates do not have enough room for siege units to pass through. I think we've all either been there or seen it. Where it's like, hey man, my Treb or my Bombard can't fit through the wall. So that's good. Villagers will surround groups of enemy units properly instead of looping back and forth. Okay. Updated the notification message for publishing and unpublishing mods. Updated the Chinese mastery path. Okay, I guess that's some mastery shit. Fixes. Fix an issue where hills would prevent straight shots like units like crossbows or springles from attacking. This caused the units to move closer after much closer. This change will... They've fixed line of sight. This change will result in units sometimes shooting through terrain. I mean, that's fine. That's way better. We find that to be an acceptable trade-off in order to make units behave in a consistent, predictable manner. We don't want you to guess what all... That's great. Oh my god, that's way better. Standardize the selection box for trees. Previously, tree selection boxes use the exact geometry of the tree model. This meant that it was easy to accidentally click between branches or roots instead of clicking on the actual tree. Oh, okay. Selection logic will now prefer villagers instead of clicking the corpse they are harvesting. Wait, this was already a thing though, right? I could never click a corpse. In fact, I find it annoying that I can't click the corpse. You know when I'm eating a boar, sometimes I want to click on the boar and find out how much health or how much food is left on it, but there is zero chance I can click a boar. Zero. Fix an issue where it's difficult to have villagers gather sheep they were standing next to. Selection was previously prevented villagers. Fixed a bug where the footprint of walls could be seen in the explored fog of war when attempting to place building. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, so they've removed that. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I almost used this when I was trying to build... Let's say my units were kind of weird. Like, I would then kind of make a wall and see where the wall was in the fog that's making my units move weird. Because... it was so irritating. I almost want to go to paint here. Is that loaded? Paint. Yeah. So like I'm gonna draw Altai in a way. So like hold on. Let's say this is Altai, right? Let's say my opponent's got a wall here, and my little red army, my army's here. Now, I'm trying to go here, right? But I click here. And they're like, no, we're not going to go here. We're going to go this way. And I'm like, God damn it. So then I click here. And they're still like... And I click here. And they're like, God damn... And then it's like, alright, I'll click here. I have to find out, like... You have to click so many times to find out where this bloody wall is. Which it's kind of smart pathing of your units, but it's also very irritating. Because I almost want my units to move in a way that they don't know until they know. As opposed to knowing psychically. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Because, without being able to figure that one out, that can be a bit irritating. We were here. Alright. Fixed a bug where fishing ships would not drop off at the closer dock when building new docks. Oh, that's great. Also resolved an issue where fishing boats would suddenly go idle instead of returning to fish. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I hated fishing ships and stuff. Ranged units given an attack command will no longer walk all the way around a wall or river to attack their target. That's good. So that's what I'm saying. About the visual. Yeah, they've just removed the visual, so you can't see this wall anymore. But sometimes it's important, like sometimes when I was in this situation, instead of me clicking like here, and it's like, okay, I can't go here, here, and then I'm like, okay, I'll just click over here. And it's like, how far into the fog can I click down that they don't walk all the way around? Sometimes it was nice to grab a villager, just check out where the wall was, so I could go up to the wall. You know what I mean? Because this could potentially just drive you a little bit insane with the fact that you're trying to guess where this wall is so you can go up to it. Hello, Kevin. We're going through the patch notes, mate. Patch notes. Religious units will now heal when using the attack move command. That's huge. That is huge. Holy shit, that's huge. Deer and sheep, which are blocking and building foundation, now move out of the area much, much faster. That's great. Building docks no longer stomps adjacent shorefish and riverfish. That sounds cool. They buffed the elephant, Kev. They buffed the elephant, and it was already good. Slow down projectile speeds of cannon cover and hand cannon slits so the projects can be seen with the human eye. Cool. Landmark victory conditions. Updated so that players will only be eliminated when all allied landmarks are destroyed. I think that's cool as well, so you can't just like rush somebody out of the game. Melee versus siege rework. Maybe you'll play with some elephant buffs? Kevin, with how much you enjoyed Spellforce and Crossfire, if you played a bit of Age of Empires, you'd actually enjoy playing Delhi. Stabbing some folk with your elephants. Units that attack with melee weapons no longer switch to torches when targeting siege units. Villagers continue to use torches against siege units. Bonus damage reduced from 10 to 2. Damage reduced in line. So, it's, you know, villagers and stuff deal about the same damage. Horsemen, melee weapons gain plus 10 damage to siege. Other torches no longer deal bonus damage to siege. Villager repair rate of siege units reduced but to 25%. That's a great change. That's a great change. Yeah. I think most of these things that I'm reading here are just fab. Ranged armor increased by 20 for all siege weapons. That's also in line with they don't want siege. Like, currently speaking, say if you have like 30 crossbows, you can still kind of run on top of mangonels and springles and still kill them. This will remove that and make it so siege is very hard countered by cavalry. Still, springles are still good, but it's not, you know. So I like it. I like it. Reduce the height of trebuchet and defensive cannon projectile trajectories to make them easier to read. Okay. Ram health reduced. So ram pushers in general will be a lot weaker, which is kind of cool. I don't really struggle that much against rams, I guess, but interesting. But to have them be less of a threat, you can make rams faster. Oh, you can make rams faster? Okay, that's interesting too. But there'll still be 300 wood. Siege engineering upgrade is faster. Ah, okay. So mangonel health reduced. Range armor increased. So this is the crossbow thing. Springold health reduced. Bonus damage reduced. So they've made siege just across the board weaker, which I think is good. Rebaldaquin. Culverin. Okay. Oh, they made the Culverin damage a little bit higher in general. I think that's also a decent change. It felt so useless when you make Culverin. It's like, okay, they can't do much against buildings though. Yeah, I mean the bonus damage is reduced, but that's they will still deal 85 plus 100 versus siege, which, so 85 plus 100, let's say 185. They have 20 armor for a mangonel, you still one-shot it. Springolds, you'll still one-shot it very easily. You'll two-shot other Culverin, I think. So 185 damage. How much armor? 20. So 165. Actually, no, you'll three-shot. Wow. Wait, no, two-shot, of course. My bad. I was thinking of the original health amount. Bombard damage reduced from 170 to 100. Wow, that's a big nerf. Oh, but they're still equally as good against buildings and naval. Okay. Interesting. Traction trebuchet. Traction trebuchet. Counterweight trebuchet. Oh, they're much closer in. Wait, what? They made the traction trebuchet and the counterweight trebuchet basically the same. What's the damage to siege? Or the buildings even. Bonus damage increase 200 to 250. Bonus damage. Oh, okay. It's still significantly worse. Okay, that's good. Whew. I was Ooh. Counterweight trebuchet. Wow. Significantly less damage to This is a pretty big nerf to English late game. We'll see how it pays off. Units will be able to attack stone wall gates which are under construction. Once construction is completed, they will no longer be able to. Building and placement bonus damage versus boat now applies to demolition ships and non-combat ships. Okay. Arasat's emplacement bonus range decreased from +2 to +1. Tower rushes. That's a definite big hit to tower rushes. That's great. You might be like, one range nerf isn't enough. Guys, we'll take any nerf we can get to that. That's a great change. You know, when you've got like one Does this affect hand cannon slits? I'd imagine. Well, actually, that's maybe there'll be something about that. Spring order placement damage decreased from 60 to 40, but attack speed decreased from 6.25 to 4.5. Isn't that a buff? I'm pretty sure that works out as a little bit of a buff, damage-wise. No, it's lower DPS? I don't think it is. I think if you have 0 armor, I think that's more DPS. Off the top of my head. It's 7.4% less DPS? Is it? 9.6 down to... So it's less damage and less speed. Okay, okay. And you guys are 100% convinced. Like, I'll believe you guys. From the top of my head, I was like... It's a buff against siege. It's not a buff against siege. It's a nerf against siege. Yeah, so the attack speed decreased. So, like, when it says attack speed decreased, what it actually means is, like, the time between attacks decreased. It's very bad wording. So this means it's yeah, exactly. It's a very, like, this is actually very poorly worded. Attack speed decreased means attack time between attacks decreased. But yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Cannon placements, damage decrease, totally good. Buildings that cost exclusive stone. Keep stone walls now cost stone to repair instead of wood. Aha, so it's not with thingamabobs, town centers. That's great. That's fantastic. I was kind of wondering, like, oh, repairing your town center is going to be problematic. The change in damage type to cannon? Damage type changes from siege to ranged? Oh. So what? How does that affect things exactly? Siege damage was true damage, as in didn't have an armor type against it. Okay. That is interesting then, because yeah, definitely that is definitely a nerf. But considering siege is like all half health anyway, let's say siege has between 20 and 30 armor. So before you were dealing like 85 damage and siege had like 400 health, let's say, if you're talking about bombard. It's still pretty close. Still pretty close. I think they're still totally good. Relic limit on all monasteries and landmarks set to 3. I like that. I like that. That's good. Yeah, I like that quite a lot actually. Because I think relics in general are very powerful and very sought after. And if you do, let's say you have 4 versus a guy with 1, I do like the idea that you still have to pay a little bit extra to make use of that 1 extra 1. So I kind of like that. This adds an additional cost to players. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that's actually a really good change. So it's exactly what I was just kind of saying without reading it. Keep landmarks now. Correctly activate a new weapon for each of their garrison slots. Flexible where capital town centers didn't fire an additional weapon for each of their garrison slots after 13. Note that English were always working correctly. Good old English. Of course they were always working correctly. Food deposit buildings can now be placed close to fish resources in shallow water. That's nice. Stone wall health when construction begins, reduced from 10% to 1%. Oh, so you can quickly smash it? So when those people are building that 1x1 wall, you can quickly... That's good. I like that a lot. Screw those guys. Yeah, so that's way better. Fix a bug that would sometimes result in scholars getting stuck garrisoning or ungarrisoning from structures. I mean, fixing a bug always sounds good. Fixed bug where multiple buildings are selected. Units could not be queued for production if one of the buildings already had a full queue. Oh. Fixed a bug where cavalry units would sometimes be unresponsive to acquiring buildings as idle aggro targets. Add a new visual effect to keeps and stone wall towers when burning oil is triggered. Oh! I kind of... Yeah, I've always felt that burning oil is very underwhelming. For how much damage it does... For how much damage it does, I want to see it like in the movies, you know, where people are going up to the keep and they go, "Ah!" Maybe I want all my units to scream at the same time. Okay, units with activated abilities now be able to activate their ability from within a mixed multi-selection. Aha, okay, that's kind of cool. It's good for his F2, boys. Trade ships no longer return additional gold. Instead, they return 100% of the trade value as wood. Huh? Wow, okay, that's very interesting. So, trade ships right now. Yeah, so let's say you got a trade ship that's getting 200 gold. I guess now it will get you 100 gold, 100 wood. But it's already... Wait, no, because they were always getting a bit of wood, right? Trade ships. But let's say it was 200 gold, 50 wood. Now it would be like 100-ish? I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that one works out. Normalize all naval units have the same type. Naval units will no longer prefer buildings like docks when they are still enemy boats in range. Oh, that's fabulous. I actually didn't like that, you know. Sometimes when you attack moved and you're near a dock, or you like span your hulk and it would shoot the dock and you're like, why are you doing that? There's a bloody ship there, mate. Spearmen form the spear wall animation faster and do not trigger their spear wall until charging cavalry is closer. That's pretty good. This reduces the instance where spearmen with spear wall behind friendly troops make spear wall feel more responsive, gives you more time to control your troops. Yeah, that's great, that's great. I think that's good. Spearmen, like... Cavalry is so powerful in Age of Empires 4 because of its speed. And with things like this, that makes cavalry feel a bit less like, oh, you know. Horseman armor scaling increased from 1, 2, 2, 2, as in, okay, this is Dark Age, Feudal Age, Age 3, Age 4, to 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel that this is a great change. The fact that nearly every unit in the game goes up in value, like, let's talk about a men-at-arms. It's like, I know the Dark Age one is a bit special because it starts off with 3 armor for English, but that's also unique. So in Age 3, or Age 2, it's 3 armor, then Age 3, it's 4 armor, then Age 4, it's 5 armor. Same with the Knight. Age 2, it's 3 armor, etc, etc. It felt very weird that the horsemen went up in armor and then just stopped. So I think this is great. They're definitely a really good unit already, the horsemen. We have to remember that they're probably more countered by spearmen now. Just a little bit. Like you never wanted your horsemen to fight spearmen in the first place, but this allows spearmen to maybe move a bit better after them. And this is only ranged armor. They don't benefit from melee armor. So I think that's... Yeah, I think that's a good change. Hand cannon hit points decrease from 150 to 130. Now, we also have to remember that siege was nerfed overall. So I think this is pretty good. Is that they're a frail high damage output unit? Yeah, 150 health was... Yeah, okay, that's good, that's good. Monk train time reduced from 45 to 30. These changes aimed at getting more religious unit out into the battlefield and involved in combat. I think that's totally fine. It could mean that the Age 3 race is even more prominent in certain matchups because you can have a couple of monks out faster. Maybe a little bit of a buff to civs like Mongol. We'll see, we'll see. Fixed an issue where units using attack move wouldn't prioritize attacking defensive landmarks. Fixed an issue where units using wouldn't prioritize. Oh. Reduce the travel distance. Villagers will scan for new resources after exhausting a stone outcropping, gold vein, or forest. Okay, that's good. I think that's very good. How often do you produce monks for your armies as a healer? Pretty much 0. I just go an Abbey of Kings, baby. And yeah, I think this is good. I think this is a good change. Campaign. Oh! Okay, so some campaign changes here. Civ balance. My good... Oh, dude, we're halfway through. Okay, herbal medicine. Cost reduced and research time reduced. Oh. Interesting. Siege engineering technology reduced to 45 seconds. So in case the window of opportunity was closed before us. Okay. That's cool, that's cool. If you see that you want to ram rush your opponent because they're playing a bit greedy, and it's like, alright, I gotta build the blacksmith, then I gotta wait for siege engineering, then I gotta make the ram. I think that's fine. Especially with the ram health getting nerfed pretty hard. Professional scouts drop carcass command can now be queued before holding it. Oh! That's very interesting. I kind of want to see how this works out. So before you even pick up the carcass on deer, you can issue the drop. So that, wow, that's actually really, for those people that like their pro scouts, that's a big deal. But, still requires you to have actions, but you can set up a longer chain of command by the sounds of it. Fix an issue where using units... Fixed an issue where units using attack move wouldn't prioritize defensive landmarks. Okay. Fixed a bug where under some conditions units could attack faster. Okay. Fixed a villager T-pose issue while attacking borals. T-pose? What's a T-pose? T? I wish I knew what T meant. T. Arms out like T? Yeah, I have no dude. Did my villagers ever do that? I have no idea. Certain units were being stubborn without responding to attack move commands. These units have been disciplined and will do better next time. Sorry, BC. Wait, what the fuck? What's this? In C4? Oh! This was to do with his, got you, the spearman. Yeah. Fix issue where villagers occasionally get stuck within stone walls while building them. Oh, good, that was horrible. Small stone deposit decreased from 1500 to 1200. Large stone decreased from 3000 to 4K. Oh man, they should apologize to Beastie for this one too, dude. Late game was leading to a lot of stalemates when there were such large numbers of keeps. Okay. I like that. You're banned from BC's chat because I made fun of him for green tea icky? Green tea? I don't know what that even means. Scouts given an attack command will properly target villagers instead of nearby carcass they are gathering. Scouts given an attack command that they're gathering? Oh. Interesting. Alright. There was a mismatch between the UI display for value attacks being some units and output. Russ also a prominent example of how... Okay. Units given Q commands no longer lose those commands when receiving a tier upgrade, i.e. becoming veteran or elite. That's kind of funny. Fix an issue where units would target the backside of a wall instead of the front. That was annoying. Fixed a crash that could occur when using rallying villagers to a resource drop-off. Transport ship. Okay, fix an issue where construction of rams, walls, and some other items could remove nearby berry bushes. What? You could remove people's berry bushes with building rams and walls? How did I not know this? That sounds wonderful. Yeah, I didn't know. Okay. Oh. Civ specific changes. My goodness. Alright. Mill influence range increased to +1 tile to allow for easy connections to the House of Wisdom's influence. This is actually really nice. This is such a small thing, but it's like, you know, when you make a little farm mill, you know, you got your one mill, then you got your 8 farms around it. It was not close enough to do that to still be in range to get your golden age going. So having that 1 extra tile so you can be in range, that's just a good change, because that was annoying. Carmel Barning has been renamed, blah blah blah. Spice Rose technology now correctly increased trade ship gold. Good. Now correctly. Okay. Preservation knowledge no longer applies as twice to text research in the House of Wisdom. It applied twice? Is that true? Field constructed mangonels and sprouts now have the correct hotkeys in the construction menu. Oh, that's actually a big deal. Camel archers can now be selected with select military hotkeys. Incendiary arrow visual is no longer lost when composite bows is upgraded. It wasn't just lost sometimes, it was... Sometimes they would lose the composite bow upgrade entirely, or not have it. Golden Age Tier 1 bonus changed from 10% gather rate to 15% gather rate. That's actually quite a big one. 15% gather rate for Abbasid. Yeah, I mean, if you actually think about it, just like off the top of your head, it is just 1 out of 20. It's good to look at it as the full 3 out of 20. Yeah, I don't think they changed Tier 2. But... And that isn't like, oh, well, Golden Age 2 is worse now. No, Golden Age 2 is the same. It's just Golden Age 1 is better. Which is cool. Like, again, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but getting your Golden Age 1 early is literally like having Tier 1 upgrades across the board, right? Like, that's your food mill upgrade, that's your wood, your lumber mill wood upgrade, and it's your gold/stone upgrade, which I think is pretty damn good. Wait, you guys didn't know what Tier 2 did? So, in fact, I don't really. Let's have a look. I think it's research speeds primarily. Like, research speeds by 15% or so. Do you have to go... Does it say here or no? In fact, where does it say? Yeah, I think it's research speeds by 15%, and then it's age so age 1 will be just gather rate by 15%. Then age 2 will be 15% research times and gather rate, and then age 3 is production rate, research times, and gather rate by 20%. So the age 2 one, better for research times, which is... It kind of means that in my mind, age 1 important, golden age 2 not so important, but it's okay. So I think like getting that fast age 1 will be a big deal. That fast age 2, not as big a deal. Still nice, but not a necessity. It makes a good combo with the cheaper... It does make a good combo with the cheaper upgrades. Like, this may not seem like much, but it's decent, like, for sure. Like, as an Abbasid guy, as somebody that... I like this change. This feels cool. It gives them that Delhi feel that if you're against Abbasid, you know they're just gathering... Their economy's damn good. Alright, so Chinese. Fire Lancer move speed increase, so they're faster. Okay, Fire Lancer time between attacks reduced. So again, this is the same kind of wording, or this is better wording from earlier about the Springald thing. Okay. Oh, so this is apparent. So they've just fixed timing. So this is apparently the same as it should be. Okay. Grenadier damage decrease from 15 to 13. Weapon range decrease from 4 to 3. Oh, these are massive nerfs to Grenadiers. What the frick? Fall off damage reduced from 175 to 50. Okay, so this is just a straight up nerf across the board for Grenadiers. I think that's good. Grenadiers were way too good. In addition to having no unit counter from the core unit roster. Yeah, they had no counter. Grenadiers also deal great damage to buildings. These stat tweaks made them a bit less cost effective. Okay, yeah. This is great. This is great. Pyrotechnics only affects hand cannoneers instead of all gunpowder units. I mean, that's a big nerf. Like, Pyrotechnics was the reason that... Pyrotechnics was a massive deal. So now this won't affect Grenadiers either. So, like, they went from having potentially 4.8 range... Because you would always have Pyrotechnics by the time... So they go from 4.8 range, because it was 20%, to 3. That's actually a massive nerf. That's a massive nerf. Alright. Weapon range bonus change from 20% to 1.5 tiles. Total cost reduced from 5... Okay, so they've made it significantly cheaper. I'm guessing it'll be like 350 gold, 150 wood now. Because given it was 700 gold, 300 wood. So for hand cannoneers, it used to be 0.8 tiles. Now it's... So hand cannoneers are better. Hand cannoneers are legit better for cheaper. It's going to be a very different playstyle for China. I'm just thinking about this stuff. Like, having... Before, once you got Grenadier tech, you made nothing else, but now hand cannoneers are actually stronger than they were before. Chinese were stacking bonus onto their gunpowder units, creating super units. Okay. HC 5.5 on walls, 7.5 with 52 damage. Yeah, that's... On walls, that's going to be insane. But I mean, I barely play with them on walls, to be fair, but... Reload drills, attack speed increase. Note power level increase to offset the loss of pyrotechnics tooltip is slightly incorrect here, as it still refers to reload speed instead of attack speed. Okay. So, bombards will still attack faster for China. Nester bees. Yeah. Granary cost reduced. I think that's actually a big deal, because I hate it. I thought I was maybe the biggest advocate of granaries being trash. But now that's actually good. Alright. I'm just letting this sink in, because China's one of my fave civs to play. But this is going to be a massive change to China. Massive change. Barbican of the Sun landmark now has the ability to purchase Springald and cannon emplacements. That's kind of cool. Imperial Academy landmark can now train Imperial officials. This is one of the coolest changes for China. This is actually a really big buff. Like, this is huge. It may not seem that big, but it's big. So you start off with your 1 Imperial official. But then your Imperial Academy can make 3 without you disrupting your villager production, which means China gets 3 extra villagers minimum. You also have to take into account that sometimes when you get Song Dynasty with 2 TCs, and it's like, shit, my villagers take 13 seconds to build, my Imperial official takes 20. So sometimes making 2 extra Imperial officials can be an extra loss of 3 villagers. So this means you get a minimum of 3 extra villagers with China. Minimum. If you take into account Song Dynasty as well. Which, I think that's really cool. I think that's really cool. That's actually great. Bombards are nerfed across the board. Grenadiers nerfed, but that's a big buff to hand cannoneers. A buff to their food, a buff to their overall income with Imperial Academy. I'm genuinely excited to try out China. Because I see a few people in the chat talking about nerfs, but I'm looking at that and I'm like, yeah, bombards are weaker. Like, see, you know, pyrotechnics not being there, but they still have the best AoE siege unit in the Nesta Bees. The hand cannons are better. If you go anti-siege, you definitely want to be getting Springalds instead of Bombards now, which is a big mix-up for them. Hand Cannoneers are definitely better. The more food thing here as well for less wood costs, definitely better. That's for your 3 granaries, that's 300 less wood. Extra workers. Maybe this opens up. Maybe this opens up Wan Dynasty now for faster hand cannoneers around the map with your Palace Guard armies. The monk building time as well. With China, where they use the Imperial official on it, on the monastery, even faster for China. Yeah, I don't know. Let's keep on reading. Great Wall Gatehouse landmark changes. No longer provides bonus damage. Bonuses to units locally around the landmark. No longer provides bonus to stone walls and gates. Oh, that's what that. Okay, I hated walls having 9k health. That was, ugh. Now comes with a Nesta Bees emplacement that fires bursts to 16 arrows. All right. Now provides all your units on stone walls with 25% range. Okay, that's actually really big. Yeah, okay. This is interesting. I kind of like this. Yeah, I kind of like this. We'll see it. We'll see how that pays off. Spirit Way landmark changes. Because this almost, with having it be like the Nesta Bees, you can potentially put that in a position, like in front of your base, just as is, for like a keep, you know? It's kind of cool. And then you can have... Maybe China might turn to a civ where you're making these little wall segments. You know what I mean? There's definitely potential there in my head where it's like... Yeah, I'm very interested. Yeah, hello Aussie Drongo. Yeah, you avoid cav as well, these little wall segments. Everything has 25% extra range now. Like the Great Wall. This nerf here, way better. This change here, way better. I think both these things are kind of fun. Spiritway. Spiritway landmark no longer reduces costs of dynasty units in stable and archery ranges around the landmark. Okay, I mean that's all it did before, basically. Okay, this is okay. Spiritway landmark now houses technologies to upgrade dynasty units, which can be researched for 50% cost and 100% research speed. Does it... Hold on. So wait. Yeah, before I keep on going, does this literally just mean like getting veteran / elite is a lot cheaper for Zugnu and Fire Lancers? Okay. I was thinking if they had like some specific unique upgrades as well. Okay. When a dynasty unit dies, all nearby units will receive 20% attack speed and 20%. What? Anywhere on the map? What? No, it's a small radius. Anywhere and delete works. Yeah. It says all nearby units to the unit that dies. Does this mean nearby to the Spiritway? So people are saying global. No to the unit killed dead. Right, that's what I mean. So if you just kind of sprinkle either Fire Lancers or Zugnu into your mix and you make sure that a few of them are dying, then you're going to get a 20% attack speed and 20 health buff. You test it on no nearby to the unit killed dead. Yeah, that's... Okay. I feel that a few people are confusing things here. Okay, so if you make the Spiritway and you make some Zugnu or Fire Lancers or Grenadiers, because they're also a dynasty unit, if you have those units in your army and they die, the units immediately around them will benefit from this buff. Right? Correct. Okay. So I did understand it. Stop trying to confuse yourselves, boys and girls, alright? Okay, that sounds sick to me. You're talking about hand cannoneers having a 20 attack speed buff and health? And that health is probably going to affect siege as well. That's kind of fun. Yeah, it's very... We wanted the landmark to add more adaptive and dynamic elements to the Chinese game plan. It also kind of makes it so you want to have a few dynasty units in your gameplay, which I think is also good, because I'll be super honest, most of the time, I think my Chinese composition was like Palace Guards, a few hand cannons, and then lots of bombards and some Nesta Bees. So like this will definitely mix things up. Fix a bug where Chinese scouts lost their Tang Dynasty bonus vision when advancing to the feudal age. Fix a bug where Ming Dynasty bonus to increase the health of keeps, stonewall, and towers and outposts. Oh, that was a bug? Okay, fix a bug where Imperial official ignored Shift Q dash wrap off when carrying max gold. Oh, that was annoying. Yeah, it's 20 health over 10 seconds, so I imagine it's just 2 health per second, which... It's definitely something. Like the main thing is the attack speed, obviously. Unless you kill like a mangonel and your whole army's red and it's like, oh yeah, I'm healing. Okay, Delhi. We've already had a pretty big Delhi change with scholars now attack, move, and heal. That's a really big buff. That's a really big buff. Delhi Sultanate Imperial. Okay, that's totally reasonable. Their Imperial sucked ass. Yeah, when toggling the Palace of Sultan. Okay. Diamond Faith landmark changes change from minus 50% cost to minus 40% cost. So they were 150 gold. They went to 75, so now it's going to be 90 gold and plus 50% production time. Wait, plus 50% production time. Is this also calculating the fact that monks were 30 seconds, so they're going to be 45 seconds still? Just 15 more gold. So that's it. Okay, so... Alright, so that's just a small nerf. So that's 15 extra gold. Boiling oil takes a bit longer. All-seeing eye. Swiftness, longer. Oh, survival techniques way shorter. Herbal medicine a bit longer. Tower Elephant's health nerfed by 100. Range units riding the Tower Elephant are now properly affected by all damage upgrades. Blacksmith and Uni. But they benefited... So this is just attack upgrades, not defense upgrades and stuff. They still benefited from the defense upgrades, yeah? Reduce the formation catch-up speed of elephants from 100 to 40%. This puts them in line with all other units. Chasing them down with spearmen more manageable. Fix a bug where technologies research in Delhi did not adjust research time if started before the scholars are garrisoned. Fix a bug where technologies researched in Delhi keeps did not adjust research time if started before scholars are garrisoned. Aha, okay. I didn't realise that you had to, like, potentially... Okay, interesting. Fixed a bug where the Hysar Academy landmark was generating food while under construction. That was a very funny bug, but it was also... Textiles technology now increases food produced by the... Okay. I mean, honestly, this landmark, I knew very little about it, besides the fact that it gave you some food while being under construction. And I was like, okay. Oh, that's... you know what? The biggest changes here for Delhi are the fact that scholars can attack and move. Or attack-move. I think that's the biggest thing. I think the elephant changes are fine overall. Man, sometimes Twitch chat has been scaring me, man. I've been hearing things from you guys, and sometimes it's totally wrong. Sometimes it's right, to be fair, but sometimes totally wrong. Alright. English. English naval civilization bonus and unique technology swapped. Huh? Aha. So the unique tech was 10% cheaper, and their kind of ratio was they have 1 extra range. So what they've done is... So do you have to... So you have to buy the +1 range now. Is that correct? But English boats are cheaper. Okay. I mean, that's a buff. That's a significant buff. Aha, okay. I should just keep on reading. Sorry. So that means, so your boats now, like your fishing boats, are what, like 67 wood to start things off instead of 75? It was a pretty big tempo loss to spend all the time and resources to get shipwrights. Yeah, I never got it. Okay. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. That's great. And if it does get to the range thing, the only time the range thing really came into effect, if you're English, was the Hulk battle. Which, honestly, if it got there, you probably were dead anyway as English. Granted, there were times on like maps such as Mongolian Heights where having a galley could be big because it had the range, but again, the cheaper thing, definitely more worthwhile. Alright. Okay, cool. Wingard now has 2 additional production options. Wingard Raiders spawns an army of 3 knights and 3 horsemen. Wingard Rangers spawns an army of 3 hand cannoneers and 3 crossbowmen. I think this is interesting, because we have to remember that Siege overall has had a little nerf. Trebuchet specifically, I don't know where it was. It was... We'll go up to here. Trebuchets, so These are the shitty Mongol ones. These are the regular ones. All the health and stuff has been reduced, but also the damage has been reduced on trebuchets. Now the bonus damage has been increased to compensate, but the damage itself has been decreased. So even though you could be like, I still want trebs, this definitely is kind of cool. I still think trebs are going to be fine late game, because that half damage thing is still siege. So it means they're probably going to be still as effective against siege compositions as before. No, they're still going to be... I think they're still going to be able to snipe bombards and stuff, because you have to remember that even though their damage is 50% less, bombard's health is still less than 50%. So I think the purpose of trebs to kill siege is still going to be there. So actually, trebs in general are going to be worse against unit comps, but I mean, they're still going to be all right. Still equally as good against buildings, still equally as good against siege, slightly worse against units. Yeah, I think having the choice here is good. The slight buff to horsemen in general. Abbey of Kings! You know, it says thanks Beastie, or sorry Beastie. Why did it say, here you go Demu? You know? We're an Abbey of Gamer. Okay. Thank you very much. Alright, French. Royal Institute discount. Interesting. I think that's alright. Might make French a bit crazy in terms of that age 3 timing that they can hit. Because they spend a lot of time in age 2. Let's say you build up a good 20-30 knights, then you go. Could make that a little bit stronger. Red Palace default. Decrease. So the Red Palace default without units in is a bit weaker, but still strong with a lot of units in. So the Horseman buff is once they hit age 3, they have 1 extra range armor, and when they hit age 4, they have 2 extra range armor. So it goes up from 1 armor, 2 armor, 3 armor, 4 armor, as opposed to 1 armor, 2 armor, 2 armor, 2 armor. A much nicer change for it. But yeah, this is definitely a little buff to the Royal Institute. Kind of cool. Chamber of Commerce is now fixed. Wow. Took us a year? Fuck yeah. French trade ship bonus changed from 20% gold to 20% to all resources on trade. What? To all resources? Like at once? Isn't that a massive buff to trade ships? Or is that... Or does that mean 20% of the selected trade that you're... It must be the selected one, right? Yeah, okay. Because if it's to all resources, that's insane. Like, as in all at the same time. This is the big change, though. Chivalry from 50 wood to 125 gold to 100 wood and 200 gold. A nice little nerf. I think that's good. French Knights are a very strong harassment tool. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, Hatery. Holy shit. These are some good patch notes, boys. I'm happy with what I'm seeing so far. Genuinely excited for playing China. Genuinely. That should be fun. Okay. The Regnitz landmark now provides 100% gold from all captured relics instead of 200% from 2 relics. It also is now a fully functional monastery. Aha! So this is... Instead of you getting 300 gold from 2 relics, you get 200 gold from every... This is the change that I actually said I wanted. This is the change that I said I wanted. So now it actually gives Hatery the ability to do with the relics as they please. So instead of you being a Hatery player where it's like, hey, I've got 2 in my relic, then if I get any extra, then I'll do whatever with them. Now with all of them, you can do it. And depending on how many you get, it's a buff or a nerf. Monks come out way faster too. I don't think that affects Hatery so much, because their prelates build in 20 seconds, right? So it's not affected with that. Now there is a lot of potential for you having towers next to relics already, where you pick up a relic and boom, it's in the tower in 200 gold per minute. There is a lot of potential for that. Very interesting. I mean, I like the change. I think it's a better change. Hatchery prelates will also inspire units when they start healing. I like this. That's good. Hello, Beastie. Hope all is well. And we had a sub before as well. Hold on, who was the one before? Offbeat 2. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Yeah, I'm enjoying all these things. Fixed a bug that was preventing prelates from garrisoning. This was annoying. This was annoying. Minework Palace Landmark, discount and research speed. Honestly, you know what actually might make them... I know they're buffing this, but they're also buffing the Archon pretty hard. So hold on, I'll go through it. Minework Palace now increased to 40% reduction and 40% increased speed. Definitely not bad, but still. Then you get the Archon Chapel, and the Archon Chapel is now a drop-off for all resources, aka you just flood that little fucker with farms straight away. AKA, that's a buff, a pretty big buff. Jay Kelly, thank you for the Twitch Prime. I think what would make the Mine Walk actually good is remove the research speed buff, just make it free. Maybe then I might use it. But if you buff the Archon Chapel, no matter how much you buff this, I'm not going to use it. For Fridas, thank you as well. Fix a bug where Dark Age and Feudal Age prelates were only healing 3.5 per second instead of 7. That's actually pretty massive. This might actually be very significant for dealing with Mongol tower rushes with HRE. You save 50 wood since you don't need lumber camp thanks to Archon. I was actually thinking about this a little bit. I still think you potentially want to have the lumber mill beforehand. Because saying to yourself that you're not going to get wood until your Archon is finished is still quite big. Maybe build orders will change quite a bit, but we'll see. Changes that I really like. So the fact that they were bugged is a big deal. That will help a lot. I wonder what would be the HRE build against Mongol. Could you potentially? Yeah, I don't know. That'll be fun. All right, Mongol. So time attacks, Mangudai's just been normalized. Traction Trebuchet, different, improved economy technologies. Bonus of the improved economy technologies increased from 5 to 7.5. Kurultai landmark changes. Kurultai area increased from 4 to 7.5 tiles. Oh, that's a massive change. Healing effect no longer requires the Khan to be present within its aura. Aha! Increased radius makes it easier to get your entire army to benefit from the Kurultai bonuses. Remove the Khan requirement means the building still provides value and is worth engaging with while the Khan is dead. That's actually pretty huge. Still no Step Redoubt nerf. I mean, the Step Redoubt is amazing. But that's definitely worth thinking about. Like, Mongol's going to be interesting because, like, the monk speed build time is potentially the biggest buff to Mongol of all the civs. Potentially. Not saying it is for sure, but potentially. Because they want to they hit age 3 fast, and they want that map control, and they want to get the relics. That's already part of their game plan. So that builds faster. There is potential that you go for the double as well with stone. So even faster. Maybe there is a world that you don't get Step Redoubt. Because these two things are pretty damn big. That'll be fun. Mongols now have access to geometry and geometry improved in workshop. Improved tithe barns now correctly gets the Pack Passion barracks now have the same health as their unpacked versions. I didn't realise that they had less, actually. Fixed a bug where Mongol silver tree landmarks sometimes prevented YAM network tech from working. I didn't even know that was a thing either, that's funny. I think one thing also that's actually very good for me as a viewer and stuff, and also for FFAs when people play, they said that unpacking and packing buildings no longer increases score and stuff, which I think is great. It's so shit when you're watching a game and you potentially have a commentator that doesn't quite know what he's talking about, and it's like, oh, that Mongol player is so far ahead, look at his score, it's 8,000 against 5,000, the Mongol guy loses, even though he wasn't ahead at all. And it's like, oh, he's such a shitter. You know what I mean? So I think that's really good. And also, it's good for these FFA games where people don't quite know where Mongol are at, you know? So I like that. So Horse Archer time attack normalized. Spaskia Tower landmark now unlocks building of stone walls. I think this is super cool for Rus. I was super wondering what they were going to do to Spaskia Tower. I thought maybe they might give it the Palace of Swabia treatment and make it just a cheaper landmark. But I think this is actually a really cool change. I think this is really cool. Rus being able to make stone walls, but it's at the cost of not having the high armory. Which, to be fair, these days, high armory is generally just your siege is cheaper now. This actually might be useful. And I don't just mean useful. Depending on how you want to play, maybe this might... Because before, you always went for the high armory because of how good your spring odds became. Now it's only 0.5 faster. 20% cost reduction, obviously. But that is 1 in every 5 spring odds for free. So yeah, this could be very interesting. I think it was a really cool change, this, because Spaskia Tower literally was, yeah, they say here, the weakest. I was about to say the worst landmark, pretty much, of Age 4. Yeah, there's so many changes. Like, the game is different. Also remember, with the repair and stone changes, keep landmarks are better in general. Yes. Yes, in a way. It also means that repairing that landmark will cost you stone instead, if you want to be repairing it. So if it does get to one of those situations where landmarks... So it has its benefits and weaknesses. Not for landmark... Oh, it's lumber for... Really? Okay, cool. So okay. So landmarks, because landmarks don't cost stone, they cost wood to repair. That's interesting as well, and I think that's good. So the White Tower, for example, costs wood. Alright, Kremlin. Influence range increased from 4 to 8 tiles. I wonder if there's a... I can't see myself ever going Kremlin instead of Golden Gate with how good Golden Gate is. Let's say you get Golden Gate at the 5-minute mark. Every minute that goes by, it's 50 extra resources, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's also you get to have 50 extra or whatever you want, pretty much. Which means 10 minutes in, that's 500 extra resources. Which... like this, the default weapon range and the garrison arrow range being 8 instead of 6 is also very big. Yeah, initially I was thinking about this influence range not being that big, but we'll go back to paint again, team. But if you've got your, in fact, we'll use little circles. They're nice and neat. If you've got your base here and you've got like a wood line here, then you got your nice. Oh shit! Let's go to that again. And then you got your gold here, and your opponent's, let's say, somewhere over here. It could potentially allow you to put like a Kremlin, quite far forward, while also still being able to put a lumber mill in a nice spot. Whereas, like, if you try and make a normal wooden fortress, you still have to make it kind of close. So there's some kind of stuff there that could be fun. Also, say if you are protecting like a water line with your base, and you put a Kremlin here, for example, 8 range. There's definite ways that it could be cool, but I still think, yeah, it might be used. It might genuinely be used aggressively as opposed to defensively, but still, I like the idea of changing it. Because initially, when I first started playing, it was only about the Kremlin. Then we were like, oh my god, the Golden Gate's way better. Fix the aura indicator on this to make it more accurate. Gold penalty for the high trade house adheres to the radius that the hunting cabin uses for tree counting. Okay. Lodger attack ships now retain their 8 damage versus incendiary ships after researching incendiary areas. Okay, that's good. Lodger's ships were scaled to different sizes. They are all normalized now. Oh, okay, I like the fact that they're all normalized now. Having massive freaking boats was weird. Oh, okay, that was the civ changes. Okay. Interesting. What, was there any civ that didn't have changes? So we've got Abbasid, Chinese, Delhi, English, French, HRE, Mongol. Every civ has changed, like big changes. Well, fairly big. As part of this update, we're adjusting the maps. Okay. Map balance. Each spice has received no fall with the high level of distributing small lakes evenly between teams. So between team, okay. Boulder Bay and Mega Random. Danny rule now spawn teammate. Okay, so this is mainly about team stuff, eh? Okay. Check Mongolian Heights. Mongolian Heights has been updated to ensure that cliffs do not surround the sacred sites and trade posts. The number of crossings on the map has been updated from 3 to 5. And each crossing is now wider. That's great. This should result in less turtley gameplay, as we often saw match stalemates when yeah. Oh, that's way better. Lipany, we've done a tuning pass. We have more robust changes coming in the future. Wait, we've done a tuning pass on the distribution in sacred sites, so they're just going to be more spread out. That's good. Sometimes when you had 2 together and it was like... Boop. Okay. Fix initial range for 2. Okay. Mana passes, titular passes receive some tweaks. It will now scale up in size based on the map size. Okay. The water level of Central Lake was brought up slightly to improve dot placement ability. Like, overall, I don't think there's any changes where I'm sad about, actually. The one thing that does genuinely make me a bit like... I think Delhi, with the attack move scholars, maybe that's something that might be too good. The attack move scholars is genuinely the one thing that I'm like... Because before, you at least had to, you know, make sure you were good with your scholars, but now, that's brutal. I think that Chinese is by far and away the biggest change. Abbasid, it's just, I think that like the mill influence range was really good in general, and I think the Golden Age thing is fun. But China, holy fuck, China's so changed now. And I don't even think it's necessarily a nerf. I actually think it's super different. Like this, like your unit comp of having hand cannoneers are better, obviously. Granaries, having your 3 granaries is 300 less wood now, which is way better. The Imperial Academy for producing Imperial officials is way better. Because sometimes, so you'll start off with your 1 Imperial official, you can have max 4. So you'll make your 1, and by the time you've got your Imperial Academy, there are times where you're in Song Dynasty and villagers take 13 seconds, but you really want to make extra Imperial officials, which take 20 seconds. So this is a minimum of 3 extra workers. Minimum. Potentially. So let's say you're only on TC, and you wanted to make 3 officials in Song Dynasty, which is fucking nuts, but let's just go with it. So that's 60 seconds. That is like 5.5 villages. Basically, right? 4.5? 4.5? 4 for the 52? Yeah, a bit over 4.5 villages. Almost 5. So that's actually... So, yeah, just economy-wise, 300 less wood. And let's say between 3 and 4.5 extra villages. Those 2 changes alone are very fun. And obviously this change with the Spirit Way. I don't know, man. It's going to be like... It's going to be so freaking different. I could actually see China being quite good. But I don't want to get too excited about it. This change with the Spirit Way thing, the 20% and 20 health, is very fun. Like, I totally see Wan Dynasty being better now, purely for the improved speed of units, for China to feel a bit more zergy around the map. Oh, I think I've got Asta outside my door. Hello. You want to hug Papa? Yeah. Oh, you want to play?